Welcome to the official Universal Disney Nuts podcast. If you're passionate about Central Florida theme parks like we are, then you've come to the right place. Now on to the show. Here's your host, Bill Balcerski.
Universal Disney Nuts, I am Bill, your host. Welcome back to the Tiki Bar, everybody. Why is everybody laughing? Like right out of the gate. You can't even keep your composure. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the Tiki Bar. We have the usual suspects, the motley crew, if you will. Mr. Dave Indy.
Hello.
And Miss Tanya.
Hello.
Oh, and Kona. Don't forget Kona.
Yes, Kona the cat.
Our cat is passed out in the bar next to Dave Indy, so he's just chilling. He's like Hurricane Schmurricane. I'm just going to pass out here. But we have a very special guest, ladies and gentlemen, with some very exciting news. We have done it. We have done it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. I'm probably going to get sued for that. We have hit 1,000 members with UDN. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Absolutely amazing. And of course, because of that, we are bringing in our fearless leader, Miss Jennifer. Hello, dear.
Hello, sunshine.
Yes. The gang is all here.
Hi.
So, Miss Jennifer, because I'm not going to say your last name.
Thank God.
You've got some exciting news for everybody, huh?
Maybe just a little bit of exciting news.
Interesting.
Yeah, well, you know, like you said, we got our 1,000 members in the group, so we randomly selected 3 winners of the UDN swag bags.
That's
I
right,
really
ladies
wish we
and
could
gentlemen.
win them.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you straight up, I think it's bullshit that we can't win these bags.
I think
Because
Jen
there is some good stuff in these bags, man.
We should get samples
right?
so we can talk up the
I think
product.
Jen needs to make a bag for
For her
admins.
employees, that'd
When's
be
Employee
wonderful,
Appreciation Day?
CEO.
Right?
You know, maybe Santa will send you some for Christmas.
Santa.
Oh, I like Santa.
Don't even get me started.
Sure, Bill's getting something to write.
She's gonna have Christmas thrown up all over this house.
Which, that one?
Oh yeah, this one's even worse. This one's even worse. Go
William,
ahead, Jen.
if you could see my screen right now, there's a Christmas tree
Oh,
in the
Jesus.
background.
Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, my eyes are burning. Ladies and gentlemen, it is mid-August,
Just because you're a
and
Grinch.
Jennifer has a Christmas tree up.
Right, Jen?
Did she ever take
Exactly.
it down, or when did she put it up?
Oh my God. Are you serious right now? There is literally a Christmas tree behind her. We have Jen on Skype, ladies and gentlemen, and she's part of the podcast group today. And literally right behind her right shoulder is a Christmas tree. And it's got that little fake snow on it.
It's what,
Oh my
6 to
God.
7 feet tall.
Okay, we're
Yes, it's about 7 feet tall.
Can I start putting my Christmas trees on?
No, you can't.
Yeah, there's a fire pit right over there.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Mr. Indy. Yes. Yes.
No, I have
But-
to decorate for fall first.
Listen, we're getting distracted. Jennifer, you got
Yes.
a huge announcement, don't you?
I do. I have 3 winners for those swag bags. So what better way to do it than on the podcast?
Yeah.
Duh.
Exciting.
All right. So our first winner.
Drum roll. I wish I had a drum roll. I don't have a drum roll.
Oh,
What?
You
What are
dropped
we
You are
doing?
so not prepared.
I don't have a drum roll. I wish I did. Go ahead, Jen. Winner
All right,
number
our
1.
first winner is Robert Armiger from Tampa, Florida.
Robert Armiger. See, I could say his name. Yeah.
Say or repeat, which is it?
I'm not repeating it. From Tampa is the first winner of the UDN swag bag. Awesome. Representing Tampa.
Congratulations. Awesome.
Yes, sir. Congratulations.
Our second winner is Echo Boss Taylor from Payson, Utah.
Wow.
Wow.
Echo Boss Taylor from Utah.
Nice.
Rolling into Utah. I love it. Congratulations.
Last winner is Anna Schoen from Lethbridge, Alberta, Canada.
Wow. International.
Yeah.
Wow, congratulations. We are going international, folks.
Woohoo. That's awesome.
She is going to enjoy that, eh?
Oh, God.
I'm just saying.
Really?
She's going to enjoy that. So, real quick, run down the names.
Wow.
Run down the names one more time. The top 3 that get the bags.
Robert Armiger from Tampa, Florida. Echo Boss Taylor from Payson, Utah. And Anna Schoen from Lethbridge, Alberta, Canada.
That's it, ladies and gentlemen.
Congratulations, everyone.
That's
exciting.
huge. You guys are going to love these bags. I mean, just
Oh, yeah.
unbelievable. I see what's in these bags, and I'm just like,
And if they don't want the bags, I'll give my forwarding
I was gonna
address.
say, I don't-
exactly, bro. I'm pretty sure there's something in there for everybody. So,
Well, the first round we did were really good, but these are even better because we got some new sponsors along the way and a lot of really cool stuff. So these are going to be like bursting at the seams.
All
Bursting at
right,
the
wonderful.
seams.
So what is our next goal? When is
The next goal is 1,300, and then
Okay.
we'll do 3 more swag bags. We've, like I was telling you guys earlier, we've gotten so many great products from our sponsors, and we thank them all very much for
Yes.
donating these to us for this purpose.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
We've got plenty of giveaways to do, so this won't be the last one.
sweet?
And we have got to take a moment and thank everybody
Yes.
in the UDN family
Absolutely.
for inviting their friends, being part of this, getting excited about this giveaway. We love giving stuff away,
Yes,
and
it's fun.
the response to get us to 1,000 was overwhelming, like unbelievable.
Yeah, there was a lot
Yeah.
of new members that were inviting people. So if you got an invite, hit accept.
Yeah, hit accept.
Yeah.
Join us.
Yeah, and that's the thing. People
And you could be
think
part
that
of
they're
the
in
next-
the group, but they have to accept once we approve them. We've got quite a few that were waiting to join. They just have to accept it.
And
Okay,
you could be
so-
part of the next giveaway.
Exactly.
So if you got an invite and you've been accepted into the group, make sure you go in and accept it on your end so that you become a friend of UDN and a follower. Our next goal is 1,300, which is very achievable. Kona approves, clearly.
I just kept looking at the claws going, man, my skin's so close.
Kona has joined the podcast. He's chilling out at the bar. So he's excited about the swag bags as well.
He's
Yeah,
loving up
we
to
can
David
tell.
over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kona is literally curled up next to David, just chilling. He's like, you can pet me. That's fine. I'm cool. So congratulations to all the winners of the UDN swag bags. Thank you, Jen, for joining our podcast. You're more than welcome to hang out and cause some chaos with us.
Yeah.
I'm always up for that, so I'll stick around.
Somebody's got to
Shocker.
keep Bill in line.
Oh, trust
Right.
me. Somebody released the hounds today. I'm feeling frisky. So
Yes.
Yeah, that's why I'm staying.
yeah, boss man is going to try to look over me so I don't do something stupid. But so with that being said, congratulations to all the UDN guys. We are going to do another one at 1,300. Invite your friends, be part of it. If you didn't win this go round,
There's always
do
next
not
time.
fret because these bags are
Yeah.
getting bigger, they're getting better, and we're going to have 3 more at 1,300. So feel free to invite your friends, get everybody in here, and you will have a chance to win one of these amazing swag bags. I mean, the over the top awesome. So we want to thank our fearless leader for joining us. You're more than welcome to hang out and clean up the mess after we're done. So let's
That's an understatement.
Right?
let's get into it. Obviously, the weather has been very interesting down here in Florida.
Did we have a storm?
Yeah,
I think so.
we will rebuild.
I think
So-
knocked over a chair. Is that what we're going
Yes, hurricane season is in full swing, and Hurricane Ias.
with? Sure.
It might as well be Hurricane Piccanone for all.
Oh,
I mean,
my
honestly,
was coming.
because Hurricane Ias
Yeah, I got nothing.
skirted up the coast. It barely hit Cat 1.
I think.
and
it
then
was
drop
more
back
of just
down.
a tropical. Yeah.
Yeah. So the East Coast got some heavy rain and some wind, but we here in Orlando really didn't get much at all. You know, like I think the wind picked up a little bit.
For about an hour late yesterday morning, and that was about the extent of it.
We're in hurricane season, folks. We had that previous podcast where we talked about what you guys need to do if you guys are coming down here. You got to pay attention to the hurricanes now. There are literally 5 of them in a row right off of Africa. It goes, if you see the radar picture, it literally goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right across the middle of Africa. And once that hits the warm water, dogs and Konas living together. I mean, it's not going to go well. So we are going to get some storms this year. And if it's any indication of how 2020 is going,
I was going to say,
we
just hang on for the ride at this point.
Just give us the Cat 5. Let's just get this over with.
Sharknado.
God, my God. Let's just get it over with. A couple other interesting announcements. Universal, we'll talk briefly, but Dave, I'm going to pass this to you for details as I rip the power cord out of my computer. Universal announcing another set of layoffs, which is disappointing.
Yes.
In light of the COVID-19 impact, they also announced certain rides shutting down. And Dave, I'll let you talk a little bit more about that. But truth be told, these aren't very popular rides.
No.
I'm assuming.
No.
Okay.
Only one of them actually surprised me.
All right,
Only
we'll get
because
there.
It's newer.
They're going to evaluate their phase reopening effective August 9th, which is coming up here shortly.
Next Sunday.
So we lost HHN. They stopped Epic, right?
Yeah, Epic's on hold until the future becomes more certain, is what they were quoted as saying.
And if you guys can hear the numbers to the amount of money that these parks are losing because of COVID, it would blow you away. I think you got the numbers too, right?
I do.
Okay, we'll wait. We'll wait on it.
Yeah, and Disney's will come out tomorrow, supposedly.
And that one blows Universal's away.
Yeah.
I mean, just stupid, right? I mean, we knew this was coming. We knew these parks were going to be severely affected.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they were shut down for better part of 3 months. So.
Right. So we knew this was going to happen, right?
Yeah.
So the California theme parks are looking at alternative measures to opening the parks, like innovation solutions, like zoo exhibits, food festivals, walk-through installations, shopping areas. They're talking about opening downtown Disney, but
downtown Disney's already open.
Yeah, but it's very limited.
But limited, right.
Yeah,
and I think I touched on one time, I thought Knott's Berry Farm on a previous podcast was open, but they're not. They're just doing the actual food festivals on the weekends as well.
Yeah.
But as far as the big events that draw a lot of people, like the fireworks, the coasters, the parades, activities, stuff like that, I don't think.
Well, California, for the most part, is
do
still
that.
shut down, so that's really not a surprise.
Let's see what else I got on my little magic list. All right, so did you guys hear about this, what happened at Living in the Land in Epcot?
I had not until you mentioned something earlier.
So I guess there's the attraction had an issue. I don't know if it was mechanical or electronic or whatever, but the ride started going backwards through the greenhouse.
That would be actually kind of cool.
I would love to have
I was going to say, I want to be on the ride when that happens.
For at least 10 minutes. For 10 minutes, the thing was going backwards. Now, it turned out to be somebody e-stopped it, and during that process, the water jets stopped propelling the attraction from going forward. And so now all the rides got sucked back because there's no forward momentum.
Got it.
So that explains the reason why everybody was going backwards. But you can see videos on UDN and also other Facebook pages where like the boat is just going backwards.
I've got to find those.
Yeah, that's
it's pretty cool. So
it was pretty entertaining.
So speaking about boats, there seems to be a pattern here, folks.
Splash Mountain.
What is going on? Like if there wasn't a single ride at Disney that has more controversy than Splash Mountain right now.
Yeah, right. Because it was shut down a few days ago. And like the water was drained from it, and then it got refilled, and
so now they had a boat sink. Did you see the videos?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so now they have a boat sink, and it was the Jungle Cruise that had a boat sink.
Yep.
Right.
I want to talk to the guy who's in charge of the maintenance of these boats. Like, are you serious right now?
You better be glad it didn't happen when you went to Tom Sawyer's Island.
My God, yes. Look, I'm retired Coast Guard. I'm not active Coast Guard. Boats sink. I don't care anymore.
Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming.
Right.
The water's not that deep there, though.
Well,
Wait, where?
Going over to Tom Sawyer Island.
Yeah, it's like 18 feet there,
Yeah.
kid.
Is it really?
Absolutely. That lagoon is deep.
You're not touching bottom.
That lagoon is deep. So
I don't know. They had it drained because of the paddle boat there, and you could see the rail and everything. It didn't seem like it was that deep.
No, it's deep by the time it fills up to the banks.
Okay.
right. So they had a boat sink at Splash Mountain, and it sunk all the way up to the headrests. You know what I mean? Well, here's the controversy. The people, once they realized that the boat was sinking, they obviously got out of said boat. Kona saying hi to Jen.
Just staring.
Awkwardly. So they got out of said boat because it was an emergency, and they got yelled at by the cast member because it was a safety violation of getting out of the boat. Like, are you serious right now? Like, the boat is sinking, and you want us to stay in said boat? Like,
Yeah,
what,
I'm sure
what
the
were they
cast
thinking?
I'm sure the cast member had reasons. I mean, we don't know what the safety protocol is, for
But the
those type of
boat was
situations.
sinking.
Yeah,
I mean, I could
at
just-
that point, yeah.
I could just see somebody being like, "Oh, okay. Well, I'm not authorized to leave this boat, so I'm just going to sit here." And the water's chest high,
And drowned.
and almost drowned because he was told not to get out of the boat because it's a safety hazard. Have they lost their minds? Seriously. Oh my God.
But you know what, Bill? Disney just released a statement regarding that we just posted on the Facebook page, and they mentioned nothing about what the cast member said.
Yeah, but it's on video. Like, they caught the whole
I
thing
know.
on video. It's crazy.
Yeah,
So-
social media is a wonderful thing, isn't it?
Yes.
Speaking of social media being a wonderful thing,
Oh,
Lord.
Here we go.
let me tell you about my little experience last night.
Hang
Cats and
on
dogs
to
were
your-
not living together.
No.
Cats and dogs were not living together.
Hang on to your hats, folks, because
Folks,
it's going to get bumpy.
I'm going to cover this very briefly, and let me preface this with, okay, I am not against Black Lives Matter. I am not introducing politics into this podcast because we don't go there, okay? I asked a general question. I got lit. I asked a general question, and it went nuclear. Absolutely nuclear. Now, I won't go over the question.
Well, you have to briefly say
Okay,
in
so
roundabout terms what the question was.
all right, so I will throw the annual pass holder Facebook group under the bus because that's where it was, and I will also say that my question was based on Disney rules and regulations, and
And
how
it was a genuine question. It wasn't.
I felt like it was. I felt like it was. So
because you didn't know the answer to it.
I didn't know the answer to it. So my question was based on I read the rules and regulations of Walt Disney World, and in there, again, I'm not going to go deep into this, but it says that you can't have signs or anything supporting a demonstration or unauthorized stuff or whatever,
Banners,
right? You see it all the time with people who walk in with like either Trump signs or Obama signs or whatever, and they get banned from the parks because they have a zero tolerance for that stuff, right?
Correct.
Well, but then they enter this contract with the NBA and they're broadcasting games from the wide world of sports with Black Lives Matter on the floor. So that opens a whole can of worms. Like, okay, so if you guys are putting Black Lives Matter on the floor, which I understand you're supporting a cause, I get that. But then you've got to let everybody else do all their other stuff. So that's kind of the angle I was trying to go with it.
From a legal standpoint, in a sense.
Yeah.
I mean, you just set a precedence, right?
So
If you're allowing Black Lives Matter to be on the floor, then you should be allowing people to bring in whatever they want.
But I think the key word there was approved versus unapproved.
Unauthorized, authorized.
Right, exactly.
Okay. So I posted this post with the honest intentions of just getting an answer. And I got... It was...
It's really why you have to stand at this point.
It was apocalyptic. I mean, I had 73 comments in 3 minutes. And I can't even read you some of the comments that were on there.
They were rude.
Calling me everything in the book. And I'm like, look, I'm just asking a question. I'm not trying to be mean, and I'm not derogatory, and I'm not a racist. I'm not trying to do any of this. And then finally, halfway through the process, there was one guy. I don't remember his name, but they removed the post, so I can't go back. But there was one guy who actually gave me an honest answer, and I thanked him for it. I'm like, that's exactly what I was looking for. They were like, okay, when Disney and NBA got into the contract, that whole Black Lives Matter thing on the floor was worked into the contract. So if Disney was going to accept the $150 million that they got from the NBA, they have to put Black Lives Matter on the floor. Disney agreed to that. So they made an exemption to that rule.
Right.
I'm like...
And then, so it was approved.
Right. It was an approved thing. And I'm like, that makes perfect sense to me. Like, okay, there was my answer. Great, thank you. That's what I was looking for. But the other 92 comments, oh, you're a bigot, and you're this, right? I mean, just, it was
and there was
unbelievable.
And there was like debates within the debate, like other people were like debating with other people.
Whether Black Lives Matter was like political and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
Now, and we all know this, and I'll even say this, even the dogs barking over there are agreeing with me. Okay, we can all sit here and admit, and Jennifer, feel free to jump in on this. We can all admit that the annual passes Facebook group, and then the other one, the Disney pass holder, I think one or whatever.
No, the Disney secret group or whatever.
Has become beyond toxic. Like you can't even have an opinion without getting lit.
It's almost like asking the same question that's been asked before. Say the search bar.
Oh my God. People are just so nasty.
And people asking for pet names.
And even if you just post a normal question or a basic comment, people bully you to death in those groups.
I mean, it was unbelievable. And this is like an official Disney annual pass holder group.
Yeah.
And I was like, why am I getting beat up for asking this question? There was no implementation of Black Lives Matter. I wasn't criticizing Black Lives Matter. I wasn't criticizing Disney. I just noticed that this was a policy that Disney made an exception for, and I was curious on why.
Yeah.
That's all it was.
Yeah.
My thought was it was because it's ESPN, and it doesn't fall under, even though Disney owns it, didn't fall under the umbrella, because it was at their wide world of ESPN. So that was their, in a sense, loophole to... Because otherwise, you're right. They could open themselves up. Okay, you'll let this group do it, but we want to be able to do it. You know.
And I'm Switzerland here, right? I'm not for or against.
Right. And I think it also has a lot to do with the fact that ESPN is not open to the general public either. So, you know, it's just
but they're broadcasting the games throughout the countries.
Yeah, I know that.
You know what I mean?
It wasn't specifically in the Magic Kingdom. It wasn't in Epcot. It was,
but when I finally got my answer, I was like, okay, that makes sense. And then that should have been the end of it. I posted this post 12:30 in the morning because I work third shift, right? So I posted this post at 12:30 in the morning. 12:33, I had 73 comments. 12:42, 7 minutes later, my post was removed.
One of those should have been like, well, that escalated quickly.
I didn't even get a chance.
It needed the meme right there somewhere in that post.
It was funny because I was sitting there reading a lot of the comments and everything, and then there was other people with the memes of, you know, sitting there with the popcorn or, oh, shoot, the comments, you know, started already.
Bro,
you know?
7 minutes after I posted it, it was gone. 7 minutes.
I mean, from working at Universal, that used to be our biggest thing when I used to get escalated calls and stuff. If we make the exception for one, we have to make the exception for all. So it'll be curious to see how this kind of plays out.
It opens that door, though, right?
I hope it doesn't, but it does in some ways.
Yeah. So, that was interesting. So, of course, far be it for me not to kick the hornet's nest.
Never.
Come on.
I reported the admins for
harassment.
So.
Oh my Lord.
So I'm pretty much going to get kicked out of that group.
No surprise there.
Booted from the group in 5, 4, 3. I'd be surprised if I'm still part of that group right now. Unbelievable. Ladies and gentlemen, number 23 in your programs, number 1 in your hearts, Mr. Dave Indy.
I don't know if I can follow that one, but
You can try.
Try.
yeah, exactly. I'll do my damnedest. So let's see. So as you already pointed out earlier, we'll start off on kind of the lows. Epic's on hold until basically they're uncertain on the future on it. So
Yeah,
I
which
mean,
we
it's
kinda
not
knew.
dead. It's on hold, which is a positive thing still to hear
Right.
on that one. But
Yeah,
it
but
all-
we're also hearing rumors that they're canceling the whole thing. Why would you buy all that land and not do anything with it?
I was going to say,
A
I
lot
think
of-
it's eventually going to happen.
It's going to, but I don't think it's going to happen on the scale it was because that was post 2019 numbers that everything was based on. They actually have to change it to make it to where it's now, social distancing of that nature. So it'll happen, but it's going to be in a different direction, I think.
Yeah.
But if they could keep the lands and all that, hopefully it can work out.
Yeah, but they're not talking about having this park ready to go until 2025. Like, this COVID thing is going to be long gone by then.
Yeah, but 2023 was the original date, so it's,
Yeah.
it's not that far off, especially if they got to redesign an entire park based on what they think it's going to be like.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, on that one, but the reason also on that is Universal just released their second quarter earnings for theme park revenue, which fell 94% compared to last year. To give you an idea, they only made
I know, right?
$87 million compared to $1.46 billion the same time last year.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, that's a lot of money.
That's basically a theme park right there.
Unbelievable.
So I mean,
But at least they're earning something.
yeah,
I mean,
and
it's-
they even said having the parks open is better than not having them open.
Right.
So what little they are getting right now, still if they're getting 87 million, that's doing pretty good. It didn't go into great detail and if it was merchandise or exactly how, but I mean,
or tickets. Or,
exactly. I mean,
So if Universal is taking that kind of loss, what kind of loss is Disney going to take?
It'll be interesting to see what they report
tomorrow we'll find out,
but
but the rumors are Disney is going to be the hardest hit out of everybody. But I'm hearing it more for Disney. They're putting it under an umbrella, so I'd be curious just to see what the theme park, but because everything was ABC not showing sports, ESPN not showing sports, advertising from all
Sure.
of the parks,
Sure.
and then the park. So
Well, also keep in mind, though, that we talked about in the last podcast how much Disney really owns.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
but
you got to keep that in perspective, right?
But yeah, so we'll see. It'll be interesting. I know SeaWorld's came out, but I didn't look at theirs. But unfortunately, Universal did lay off additional people. The numbers are unknown on how many they let off. I'm thinking it ties into HHN stuff in regards to that. Anyone they may have hired for external for scare actors may have been included in that. I'm sure it's going to be, there's less food being served. There's less people with the temporary closure on attractions, which I'll mention those here in a second. Through August, it's going to be on that. So there's less merchandise moving because there's less people. So I have a feeling those areas as well as marketing were probably in back of house is probably what really was hit, because I don't know anyone personally that was hit. But
Yeah, I'm sure merch is probably toast.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully, like they did open their tribute store for HHN on that one. But for the rides, Fast and Furious Supercharged, that one surprised me only because it's a newer ride, not because of how it's everybody's non-favorite ride.
I was shocked. I mean, truth be told, I've never been on that
I
ride, so
haven't been on
I
it
can't
either, only because I've heard so many negative things. But
There's
I'm
a
also
lot of negative
not-
comments about that ride. I'm surprised.
And like I said, it's because it's an exact clone of what they built in California on the tram ride. They didn't do anything above that. They basically just built it, ran the tram through it, and it's the same exact thing, just kind of slightly themed here and there a little bit differently. And that's where the disappointment was. Kong, they built an entire traction for Kong.
Right.
It wasn't the same exact. And when they opened, people are like, this is it. I mean, I hate to say it, the queue area is probably in the pre-shows better than the ride. But I will still do the ride. I think
So is it
anybody
a motion sim ride, or is it like
it's a ride through tram.
a ride through tram?
get
So
on
you sit on a
you get
tram
on
and
a-
you ride through?
You get on a pimped out looking bus with neons and stuff on it. And then basically the first half is going almost all the way to where Beetlejuice was before you turn the corner. And it's just this black hallway. That's all you're going through. You can't see anything. That is all wasted space. They could have built there. I've heard that
interesting.
prior to everything, there were rumors they were going to close it down and redo the ride. So,
Well, we have friends coming in this week. So we are going to Universal on Saturday.
Yes.
So we're gonna have to hit that and see.
If it's open.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So
yeah, it doesn't close down until Sunday. So we'll make it by one day.
Definitely do it. Let me know your opinions.
Okay.
But there's Fast and Furious. There's King and Kodos, Twirl and Hurl in front of Simpsons. The little spinny teacup kind of thing.
Okay.
Twirl and hurl.
I love it. That's the best name.
That's what the teacups at Disney should be named.
But also
I
Storm
have never
Force.
been on the Simpsons ride either, though.
That one I get sick.
Oh, really?
That one I thought Back to the Future was rough. Simpsons is funny to go through because of all the jabs that they do at theme parks, even themselves at Disney, things of that nature. It is worth going through just to hear all the jabs.
Okay.
But I mean, like, that one messes with me emotional wise, and possibly you for motion
I was going to say,
sickness.
Bill's not going to be able to go on that.
No.
But maybe I can get Richard Barb to go on with
Yeah,
me.
ever since my auto accident, I've got vertigo, like something fierce.
I literally, for that one, I have to stare to the side, look at the ceiling if I have to go on it.
Like I can't even do Jimmy Fallon anymore.
I can do it in the back seat. I can't do it in the front on the rows.
I tried
Yeah,
and it was
none of that bothers me.
it didn't go well.
Let's see, yeah.
See, but I can do the orange at Mission Space in
Yeah,
Epcot.
no.
So, I mean, I'm...
I would be changing my name from Bill to Ralph.
You are the new Twirl and Hurl.
Driving the Buick. You know what I mean? Like it would be over for me.
It's Bill's Twirl and Hurl. But over at Island, Storm Force, which is the other teacup type ride, it's closed. And then the shows are, I know you'll be disappointed, A Day in the Park with Barney. Make sure your friends go use the bathroom over there if they can go to those, because those are so... Have you ever looked at those bathrooms?
No.
The toilets are probably about a foot off the ground.
Are you serious?
They're kid size. So I always was entertained when you had to go over there and wait for the Mardi Gras flights, because literally the toilet's about this tall off the ground.
Oh my gosh,
So
that's hysterical.
go in there.
Which would lead to our next question. Awkward.
So I'm going to have to go on Saturday and obviously take a picture to put it on
Oh
our
yeah,
Facebook
you got to at least
page.
go in there and look at them. Fear Factor, obviously it was already closed, but I don't know why they
Yeah,
got
we
it
knew
on the
that
list.
was coming,
And
right?
then Poseidon's Fury is the other one that's closed for
See,
shows.
that one kind of surprised me because I like
Really?
Poseidon's Fury.
I
Yeah,
like
I
it,
mean,
but it doesn't get the crowds.
It's not as popular as it used to be. Like back in the Disney, that
Oh, yeah.
ride was like the ride because you walk through that tunnel of water and everybody's like, oh, because
that
was
was
like
me. And then they got it back though. You know they
Yeah,
do.
yeah,
But
I saw
stopped
it.
for the while.
But I mean, back then that was like the.
No one had ever
breathtaking
seen anything
thing.
like that.
But now it's just like, yeah, it's just a bunch of water jets. We get it.
Yeah, it's just going around us. If it stops, we're all drenched and drowning.
Right.
But
So I kind of get it, but the sad part is that they're going down this road, and
Yeah.
these rides may not open back up.
yeah, well, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, and a flip side to try to get people in the park, they've got a couple things going on. If for the international travelers who, if they had purchased, and I think they may, and it's hard to see from Florida because I can't see international. Like when I used to work there, I could just pull it up. If you had the buy 2 days, get 2 days free ticket for international, they've extended those tickets all the way till December of 2021 to use.
That's good because there is no international travel right now.
Exactly.
So that's good.
For Florida residents, right now, the buy a day, get unlimited
Unlimited,
visits
yes.
until December 24th. You have to buy that by the 30th of September. For 2 parks, it's $164 for Volcano Bay included, $193. But the thing, keep in mind, you got to pay for parking. That's the only downside.
Right.
But but again, for
And parking
unlimited,
is what, 16?
like 20.
Is it 20?
Yeah.
Standard parking rates.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I was going to say 20, 25.
Take an Uber if you're close enough. But at the same time, annual passes right now, 3 months free.
Yeah,
What's
we
going
just
on?
got grandfathered into that because our passes for Universal just renewed, and I was talking to the representative on the phone, and she was like, "Yeah, you guys got grandfathered in, so you guys got another 3 months." I'm like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
That's awesome.
sweet."
But you got till the 30th of September as well to order those, if not. And unlike Disney, neck gaiters are allowed at Universal Parks. They must cover their mouth and noses.
Wow, really?
But bandanas have been banned. That was their recent change to everything on that one. Obviously,
But then they also went the same route as Disney with you have to
Active
be
eating and
active,
stuff.
yeah.
Yep. And
You had
then
to be stationary.
for when you're going, and I'll have to double check the start times, but for August, park hours have shrunk down by an hour. They snuck that through.
Yes.
Studios is 9 to 5. Islands is 10 to 6 to keep people separated. Volcano Bay is kind of screwy in there. Through the 3rd through the 6th, it's 9 to 5. The 7th through the 9th, it is 9 to 6. And then it goes weekdays 10 to 5 and weekends 10 to 6. So some really funky hours until after the 9th in there on that one. Okay. But on to Halloween Horror Nights, since that was the big thing and we discussed it was already closed or held off for their 30th, unfortunately. But 2020 tickets are good until 2021. They'll be honored next year.
Oh, okay.
So anyone that bought a ticket, the BOGO tickets, they're good for next year.
Nice.
If you have Halloween packages, your Halloween tickets, like I mentioned, will be good. You can cancel, unfortunately, if you needed to and stuff. But otherwise, on packages, you can see about moving them. If you have a hotel-only stay, which I think is really a good thing as well, and you call to cancel or we want to see about moving dates. If it was for Halloween Horror Nights you were coming in for, you got to say you're doing it for Halloween Horror Nights. They will price match the hotel for 2021 pricing because it's not out yet and give you the same rate you paid.
Oh.
So definitely look into that if you had a hotel only stay and not a package for Universal.
He said package.
Really? You two are such 2-year-olds.
He started.
He's touching me.
Oh,
I know you are, but what am I?
And then lastly, like I mentioned, for the tribute store, it is open. There's nothing in there that shows you what houses or anything. It's just a lot of the retro stuff. But if you can't make it to Universal, merchandise is available on UO.com under the merch section. You can get select Halloween Horror Nights stuff there as well to be able to enjoy it. Okay. So definitely a good thing for anybody there who...
I'd imagine they have all this Halloween Horror Nights 30 merchandise that they got to try to get rid of.
Exactly. All the retro stuff. The ones they have Fright Night ones that on the sleeves say like 30 years of fear and stuff. Sweet. I've seen that one. Michelle has that one and was showing it to me the other day.
I should get Halloween Horror Nights 9 to celebrate.
Hey, when you're there, you can go check it out.
Maybe put a little blood on the shoulder or something.
Was that the last one that you went to?
It'd only be better if it was the house that you redecorated.
Maybe I'll buy one of those Scream masks.
Wait, are you allowed in the tribute store? It is Halloween Horror Nights.
Oh, that's a great question. I think I'll be able to.
I think 21 years later, you're going to be fine going in.
Like I said, he should look into getting that changed. But other than that, the only thing I had talked about prior with you guys is SeaWorld. I didn't know they were not open 7 days a week. They were only open 5 days a week.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
They're about ready to be open 6 days a week, and they will still be closed on Tuesdays. And all of their coasters for 2020, I guess they've worked it out, are delayed until 2021. But there has been workers over at Busch Gardens for Iron Gwazi working on it. So there's possible a light at the end of that tunnel that it could open before the end of the year.
Now, Gwazi used to be that wooden roller coaster, right?
It was a wooden one. Now it's Iron Gwazi, which that is so much better.
I have fond memories of that wooden roller coaster over at Busch Gardens when I went there with your brother.
Oh, my brother and Steve, yeah.
So
when it was still a rattling little...
Yeah. So we're on the roller coaster very quickly before we go to Tanya with Disney. We're on the roller coaster. I'm with your brother and Steve. We get on it, and I'm like, guys, listen, this is a wooden roller coaster. It's not going to be a comfortable ride. And your brother's like, yeah, whatever, bro. I'm good. Whatever. You know, standard, you're a girl. Let's go, you know? Halfway through the ride.
Like my brother.
Halfway through the ride, he's like, I am not having a good time right now. And
yeah,
like,
it got
you can
rough.
feel it in your teeth.
Yeah,
man.
when it was first built, and they're smooth as can be. But man, once those things age, that's why.
My God, it was horrid.
But
like fillings were falling out of your teeth.
Yeah, well, that was like the wooden roller coaster at Dorney Park too. It was like,
Traction Park lives forever.
That's a lot of them. I mean, there's one down at Fun Spot by Kissimmee. I still want to go ride. Mind Blower, I think, I think it's Mind Blower that I want to ride because it has a twirl in it. It goes upside down.
Oh, really?
All right, thank you, Mr. Indy. Simon, to bring in, I don't know which one's worse as far as Disney. Whether this one over here on the computer screen or
with a Christmas tree.
They're equally dysfunctional when it comes to Christmas. But although I will default and defend my wife,
Jen, oh my Lord,
Jen is much worse Christmas time than you are. Not by much.
Yeah, how many Christmas trees
by much.
does Jen have?
I have 6.
Yeah.
I have 2.
That are currently up, or
Well, clearly
No,
she's got
there's
a
only
Christmas
one
tree
up.
behind her. It's August.
Your point?
It's hard work getting all these decorations up to enjoy.
and
See,
the
See,
Christmas
if I
village,
could right
and
now, I would put up my Disney tree.
I will never allow that woman. Ever. Ever.
We'll see,
the boss
Tanya.
of
That's what
me.
this one's gonna be. Is my Disney tree.
See? I
No.
could put up the Disney tree.
You can go live with Jen.
So, yeah, exactly. Take the cats with you. But she has a Disney tree with like 1,000 ornaments because every year we got to go back to Disney and buy new ornaments. And then she has the regular Christmas tree. And I'm like, we don't need 2 trees. Like, what
Yes,
are you
we
doing
do.
right now? And then this one over here, she's got 2 kids. Okay, noted. But they're like on the verge of growing up and out of the house, and she's got 6 trees. Like,
So many presents under per tree. It's a scavenger hunt.
it's like
That's a great idea.
it's like she's living in Narnia
Well, you
or
got
something.
his and hers. I don't know about that one.
But it's unbelievable.
Hey, you know what? The daughter has a pink tree in her room. My son has a Nerf gun tree in his room. And then there's 4 trees in the house.
And a stripper pole.
Oh my gosh.
No, that's Bill.
I cannot confirm or deny that. Ladies and
That's in
gentlemen,
Bill's office.
Miss Tanya.
All right. So most everything we're talking about today is going to center around Hollywood Studios. And we had the chance to go to Hollywood Studios last week. And
We did.
We will get into that in a little bit.
Very frustrating.
It was a lesson in futility, that trip, but we'll get into that after I do some of the announcements.
And I'm going to make a comment about that because I felt more comfortable in other parks than in Hollywood Studios.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'll just throw that out there. Kona, you could disagree with me. That's fine. But let her finish.
I saw the look the cat shot too.
Right.
You see, he was giving me the stink eye out of his periph. I see. I'm
You have
watching.
issues.
Because you told the cat to go and live somewhere else.
Right.
Exactly.
That's probably what he took offense to.
Exactly.
The cat
Anyway.
mocks me.
So, anyway, for Rise of the Resistance, there has been adjustment to the virtual queue times. It was 10 a.m., 1 p.m., and 4 p.m. It is now 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. They have combined the 1 and 4 o'clock. Basically, because there was the spots limited for the afternoon shift were ridiculous. So
Yeah.
that doesn't surprise me that they made that adjustment.
Bro, one day, Rise of the Resistance broke down 6 times in one day.
Yeah, that was
At least
a
it's
couple
not a
days
boat
ago.
ride.
Yeah, but I mean, let's noted. But I mean, this is their newest ride. Like, why is it breaking down so much?
Speaking of boat rides breaking down, y'all got stuffed on Small World too.
Don't even get me started.
That wasn't
Don't
even
even get me started.
Stop. That wasn't even
If that would have
anyone
sunk, that would
know.
have been the best.
Anyway.
I had another cat rub my leg.
Yeah, there's Simba. He's making his appearance.
Simba joins the podcast.
So the Beauty and the Beast live on stage show has, I think, temporarily been suspended.
And there goes her mic.
There goes my mic. And is being replaced by Disney Society Orchestra and Friends. Which I believe is going to be a temporary situation due to the standoff with the Actors Equity Association. If you haven't heard about that, that is the
Dave's fixing
union.
Tanya's mic while she's trying to. This is hilarious. Can you see this, Jen? Look.
Yes.
Look, I'm going to put you front and center. You got to get your
wait
popcorn
until we-
ready, girl.
wait till we
Somebody
start-
call AV tech support. quick.
Get your popcorn ready. Dave is going to
Stop
come.
hanging from it. Let go of it.
It's no.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by.
All right, let me just hold it and talk for the love of God.
Why is it that it's your mic that crashes every single time?
I don't know. The
Dave's
answer to
mic doesn't
that.
crash. My mic doesn't crash.
Whatever. Anyhow, so the Actors Equity Association is the union that represents most of the in-park
Speak
performers.
into the mic, sweetheart.
I am.
There
okay.
you go. There you go. Oh, God.
Let's try this
So
again.
many wrong comments right there.
That microphone's gonna go flying at your head in a minute.
Put it to your mouth.
Sometimes I wonder, bro. Sometimes I wonder why I
Okay,
even do
can
this
I?
podcast.
Can I get back to?
Absolutely.
Why, thank you. I appreciate
By all
that.
means, go right ahead.
I'm going to do the meme with the popcorn.
Right? All right, so for the third time, the Actors Equity Association is the union that represents most of the in-park performers. And Disney and that union are going back and forth. And, well, actually, it's more the union is making snide comments towards Disney on their Facebook page and everything. And Disney is pretty much staying quiet.
Yeah.
So, which, you know.
I heard some of the people in that union are not happy with the unions.
Exactly. There
Yeah,
was
the way they're
over like
acting.
180 cast members that are with Disney and not the union, and they're part of the union.
Yeah.
They want to get back to work. They want to be doing their thing. It's just being petty at this point.
Yeah, that's the
So-
disadvantage of having a union, because you live by the sword, you die by the sword, right?
Yeah, but so hopefully that will get rectified soon, which is why a lot of these shows are not going on right now because of the actors union. So a lot of those performers aren't allowed to perform and whatnot. So, but the show consists of the Grand Floridian Society Orchestra plus some characters from Beauty and the Beast mixed in, and appearance of the Belle and Beast. The orchestra plays a variety of music from around Hollywood studios like Star Wars, Muppet Vision, and of course Beauty and the Beast. The times of the show range from basically every 45 minutes to an hour, and it looks like it plays about 9 times a day. So it'd be a nice little reprieve to be able to go in, sit down, take a load off, which for me, this needs to happen at Hollywood studios because I mean, obviously there were quite a few shows at Hollywood Studios that aren't going on right now, so you only have the rides, and you have a lot of dead ends and everything else in that park. So this will help, I think, take some of the people out from the other areas, hopefully. But also being reported is that the Voyage of the Little Mermaid puppet and stage show has been permanently retired. So
Little Mermaid is toast.
yeah, so no word really. That was reported by Blog Mickey, but we haven't heard any other information about that.
See, it's a double-edged sword, right? Because we're upset that we're losing these rides, but the silver lining to all this is it opens the door for new tech and new rides.
Well, that was a show.
Right, but what I'm saying is they could tear that down and put something bigger and better. Like,
Well,
look
yeah,
at Tron.
and
Look at
Hollywood
Tron
Studios
in Magic
definitely-
Kingdom.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like that's going to be epic.
Well, and I think that area over where the Voyage of the Little Mermaid, it all needs to get kind of revamped now anyhow, because with the whole Star Wars land opening, that one building right now where they had the character meet and greets and everything for Star Wars obviously is no longer going to host the meet and greets, and it's a rest area right now where you can go in and take your mask off and that kind of thing. Obviously, Voyage of the Little Mermaid is not up and running, and the only thing else in that area is the meet and greets with the Disney Junior characters. So I think that's probably, that whole area is just going to get a revamped.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, but as with the attendance down in the parks and everything else, I don't see that happening anytime soon. And obviously, the Disney hasn't announced anything either. But
Either.
Neither.
What else
I
you got?
really don't like you. So, on to talking about our visit to Hollywood Studios. So, so our whole purpose of going to Hollywood Studios was twofold. One, to ride Slinky Dog, and to ride Rise of the Resistance.
Now, we went there because we understood that there wasn't going to be a lot of people there, and this was our opportunity
Yes.
to ride these rides.
Yes.
And we've never done Rise of Resistance because when it was open, it was catastrophically busy.
Neither have I.
And you had to be
And
there
then-
before like 7 a.m. to
Right.
even get
And
into
even
the
Slinky
virtual
Dog
queue.
was challenging, right?
Yeah, that was usually over an hour wait.
So we roll into Hollywood Studios with our reservations thinking this is our chance.
Yes.
Right?
So we get in there, and right at 10 o'clock, and obviously everybody else is coming into the park at that time. They're all situated around the entrance because they all want to try and get into the virtual queue for Rise of the Resistance. We had both of our phones going. Bill was able to get in, and we were able to.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Victory is mine.
We were able to, what was it? We were group number
37.
37.
Yes.
So, and it was like 210 minutes. We're like, okay.
Initially.
So we started walking around, and, we did a few things. We got something to eat, and we went over to Toy Story Land. We got in line to ride Slinky Dog. We're less than 5 minutes away, because the wait was about maybe 15, 20 minutes.
Yep.
We are less than 5 minutes away to getting onto Slinky Dog, and a thunderstorm comes through.
Boom! Here comes the lightning. Here
So
comes the
now it
thunder.
gets closed because of the thunder and the lightning. So we go over Road Toy
Ladies and
Store
gentlemen,
Mania.
We are stopping the ride due to inclement weather in the area.
Yes.
Please join us at another day.
Yes.
Like, seriously, bro.
For an indoor ride.
No, it was the Slinky
No,
Dog.
Slinky Dog
Slinky.
is outdoor.
Right, so they had lightning in the area. Obviously, you know that there's lightning within 5 miles of Disney. They shut the
them.
rides down.
Oh, well, yeah, and understandable.
But they had lightning coming down, and they were still running people through the ride. So I'm like, oh, okay, they're all dead.
That's a little over dramatic.
It's not even Volcano
just
Bay.
saying. Right?
So we
Jeez.
went on Toy Story Mania, and then we
Yep,
came
that was
out,
fun.
and by then it was
Whooped her
raining.
ass.
Whatever. We won't even go there.
By the time we got out of there, the
It was
skies
raining.
have opened.
Yeah, so we're standing
it
under
was
one of the umbrellas,
downpouring.
and 15, 20 minutes we stood under the umbrella trying to stay relatively dry. Settled down to a dull roar, and we still had about just under an hour,
Yeah, I think it was like 42 minutes left.
till Rise of the Resistance.
So we're thinking, okay, everybody's left the park. So this is now that it's going to drop, because now it's been like 4.5 hours we've been waiting for Rise of Resistance.
Yeah, 3.5 hours.
And bro, we were
at that point.
37. We were number
Yeah.
37. I've seen people 107, and they make it by the end of the day. We were
Yeah.
37,
Yeah.
and it was like, okay, we got an hour
But you
to do
also
this
have
ride.
to realize that was from 7 o'clock in the morning. This was from 10 o'clock in the morning. So that
Yeah, but
3
that's when the
hours made
park
a
opened,
difference
so,
anyhow,
I mean, that's-
Yeah, no, I get it. So we sit down, we're resting. We finally get the call to go into the queue line for Rise of the Resistance.
And I'm like, yes! This is it! This is our chance! We are going!
Okay, so by now, we had gotten in the queue at 10 a.m. It is now 3:45.
3:45, right.
Okay, so it's 3:45. We get in line. They come through. The ride is shut down. And they don't know how long it's going to be down for.
Done. Like, we're waiting in line. It's still raining. We're waiting in line to get into this thing. And this chick starts walking around talking to people. And then I notice there's people in the front of the line, like, leaving. I'm like, wait, what? Excuse
Yeah,
me?
she gets back to us, and I was like,
You gotta be kidding me. We waited 4.5 hours.
That was Haggard all over for you.
Oh,
Exactly.
God,
Still
bro.
haven't
It's
been
like,
to
I don't
Hagrid
know what's
either.
going on. We haven't done Hagrid. We can't get on Rise of the Resistance.
And
So-
you'll love Hagrid's.
by then I was obviously disappointed because
Yeah, she was not a happy camper, bro.
the two things I really went to be able to ride, and neither one happened. So
Neither.
we rode Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railroad on the way out, and then we left. And Yeah. So that was our Hollywood Studios day, which is.
But there's no pre-shows, so that kills me that they couldn't even get through 37 in that time period because they
Right?
just march you through.
You would think
Yeah,
that being 37, we would be in the ride.
Yeah, and I don't know what was going on. But so that was our visit to Hollywood Studios, and we still have yet to get over to Animal Kingdom. So as soon as we get there, we will let you know.
Which ride you don't get on?
Right?
Which ride do they not get to ride today? Let's take a
Yeah.
poll.
It's unbelievable, bro.
And then the last
racist.
thing that came out was an updated date for resorts to reopen at Walt Disney World. August 24th is now the Yacht Club. September 21st is the Grand Floridian. October 4th is the Polynesian. October 14th, Coronado Springs. And November 1st is Art of Animation. Now, on a few podcasts before, we had given, estimated dates of a lot of the resorts opening. These are all pushed back about 2-3 months from when they were initially. Like Art of Animation was initially going to reopen mid-August. Now it's the beginning of November. Now you also have the following resorts don't have a reopening date at all now. All of the All-Star resorts don't have a reopening date, which they didn't prior, but they still don't have a reopening date. Animal Kingdom Lodge, the Jumbo House, Beach Club, Boardwalk, Port Orleans, French Quarter, and Riverside, and the Wilderness Lodge. Now,
And the boardwalk.
yeah, that was.
They're shutting the boardwalk down.
So,
Yep.
well, and this is like the DVC sides of these resorts are all open, but the regular, guest room side is. So, and there is no word as to when any of those will be reopening. Now I have a question for everybody, and Jen, you can play along now too, since you're
Or with
here.
yourself.
Yay!
All right. So, if you could live in any Disney hotel for the summer, which one would it be and why?
Ooh.
And Jen, we'll let you go first since you're our honored guest this week.
Question, does it have stripper poles?
Oh my god.
It's just a question.
Whatever.
It's just a question.
What would Disney name that hotel?
Oh my lord.
That's a great question. Adults,
We're going to need to.
adult-only resort at Disney.
Candyland.
And like the strippers have to be dressed like Cinderella, Snow White.
Oh, there we go.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
Next on stage, Snow White. Yes, Cinderella.
Make me happy. Make me happy.
No, just for you guys, we're going to put up
Wow.
the 7 dwarfs.
As long as there's Jasmine, I'm good. You know what I mean? I'd like to show her a whole new world.
Oh my gosh.
What
Just
happened
saying.
to Tinkerbell
Wow.
She's drawn well, but
or
That-
Jessica?
Don't,
you know.
you guys, don't even.
okay. What's the question now,
Wow.
Jen? You're
Wow.
up, kid. Come on, we're
What
running
hotel?
really late here.
I guess my answer would be the Polynesian.
Polynesian?
Mm-hmm.
I do enjoy that resort.
I would be with Jen just because they have a tiki bar there. I wouldn't mind the Floridian either. I kind of like the feel of the Floridian.
At the
You
Polynesian,
see, I was
it would
kind
have
of
to
torn
be one of
between
those
those two.
bungalow ones, though.
Yeah, no, I think I would be the bungalows at Polynesian, and then obviously the tiki bar. So
I think the bungalows would be good if the fireworks are going.
True.
Yeah,
Be able-
true.
Yeah.
but you can watch the alligators just chew on kids.
All right, so we have 2
Rubber
votes for the
ducky.
Polynesian. Dave, where?
I guess the castle staying out of the suite, that's not counted.
No.
Well done, sir.
It's a room.
It is a room, but it's not a hotel. So this is a hotel for the summer.
I would probably go with Wilderness Lodge, but I'd want one of the huts out on the river.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
So I'm kind of torn, and though I love the Polynesian, I'm kind of torn between Wilderness Lodge and the Beach Club
So my other one would have been
because of the
Polynesian.
pool.
Yeah.
I love the pool at the Beach Club, like the sand bottom.
You don't have to
pool
tell
and
me
stuff.
twice.
So,
And there's a bar right there, so
exactly.
All right. Thank you, Miss Tanya. We have made it through. Obviously, this podcast is going to go super long. We're like 47-something minutes into this.
Well, it's not going to be any longer than the one from last week, so.
No, I think we're actually
2 weeks
longer.
ago.
I think we're actually longer this week. But either way,
We can blame Jen.
we will blame Jen.
No, we're going to be blaming William for
We
that
will
one.
be. Hey, it's all Jen's fault. Let me
It's
tell you.
always the host's fault.
Look, even the dogs are disagreeing. Okay.
Hello,
So-
puppy.
It's because you're still holding them by the ear.
So last week, awkward. Last week, I gotta give you that one, bro. That was well done. I gotta give you that one. All right, so last week we talked about all the companies that Disney owns, right? And there was hundreds and hundreds and hundreds.
Yep.
So Dave raised the question last week, or last podcast, I should say, about, let's look at Universal and see what Universal owns. Now, you have to remember that it's not Universal per se. It's Comcast that owns Universal. But I did some investigating, and this information is going to blow you away. Random topic.
Random topic.
All right, so we did the Disney. Now we're going to do Universal, Comcast, right? And let me tell you right out of the gate, I have a list in my hand. See, Jen, look, list in my hand. See, got that?
So what do you want? A gold star?
Yes, and a cookie. This packet is a 10-page packet. Who are you waving to?
The dog next door.
Can you see the dog?
Yeah, through the fence there in the corner.
Do you
It's the
see?
German
Do you
Shepherd.
see what I have to deal with?
I thought Wilson died from Home Improvement. I'm like, you got the neighbor looking over the fence?
No,
Jesus
it's
Christ.
the German Shepherd for next door.
This show has gone completely off the rails, ladies and
dog.
gentlemen. We are done. I mean,
Put a fork
absolutely
in you.
completely off the rails.
So anyway, back to Universal or Comcast.
10 and a half pages of all the businesses that Comcast owns.
I'd have never guessed that.
Okay. Now, last podcast, I just ran over the big ones, right? And they had over like 300. Disney owns like 380 companies.
Yeah.
Comcast owns over 1,000. Like,
Wow.
wow.
Yeah.
Like mind blowing, right? We had talked about they could probably sell Universal and not even be phased. And some of the stuff, I mean, obviously they have a lot of stuff that's Universal, but it's unbelievable. Let me run down for you the list. Now, Dave had mentioned earlier in the podcast about the layovers for Universal and, how people are looking at the whole Comcast thing like, oh no, we lost Halloween Horror Nights, we lost Epic Universe, and now they're laying off people, and oh my God, like we're going to lose Universal and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, not so much. Like if you thought Disney was in good shape, you should see Comcast. Like they're not even sweating this. Like I understand that Disney's going to lose a ton of money and they've lost a ton of money, but let me just read to you some of this list that'll blow you away. And keep in mind that the majority of Comcast is a multimedia company, right? Mm-hmm. So the majority of their portfolios is news outlets, radio outlets, movie outlets, stuff like that. So they own a ton of stuff when it comes to that. So let me just run down. Obviously, we'll start with NBC Universal, right? Which is included but not limited to Universal Hollywood, Universal Orlando, Japan, Beijing, the City Walks, the merch, and all the companies that supply that. That in itself is $1 billion company, right? Universal Creative and Universal Operations Group.
Yep.
So Universal Pictures.
And to stop you real quick there, something I didn't cover. AMC and Universal worked out, if you didn't see agreement.
I did see it.
17 days or 3 weekends total, and then they can put it straight on demand.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, it's huge.
It
Which could
is.
be possibly
That's
the,
mind-blowing since it was 90 days prior
Yeah,
yeah,
to shorten it.
which could be the death of traditional movie theaters.
I
but-
agree.
sadly.
So Universal Pictures, the production and all the movie studios, which is all over the country, all over the world. Tony's just chilling.
Dude, it's the death beams right here that scare me.
That's right. So everything Comcast, which is included over 100 companies for Comcast Cable, Comcast Networking, Comcast Internet. That's over 100 companies. They own the Philadelphia Flyers. They own the Wings, Philadelphia Wings. They own the Philadelphia Fusion. They own the Wells Fargo Center, own the Maine Mariners, which is a minor league hockey team similar to the Orlando Solar Bears. They own Leisure Arts. They own Adelphia Communications, AT&T Broadband,
Wow.
Susquehanna Communications,
Yeah, those are all PA.
NBC Television, over 100 TV networks, including Telemundo.
That I knew.
Right? You got to say it like that. You can't just say exactly. You can't just say Telemundo. You got to go Telemundo. Like, give it something, you know?
Which is located here in Orlando for their center.
That's very true. NBC Entertainment, NBC News Group, which are dozens and dozens across the country, CNBC, Bravo, E Studios, the Oxygen Channel, ladies, the Golf Channel for the men trying to get rid of Oxygen.
They're also here in Orlando.
Yeah, the Golf Channel, Golf Now. They own a part of the MLB network, the baseball network. They own NBC Olympic. All the Olympic coverage that you see is Universal. NBC Sports in every single major city in America. The NHL network. Stand by, we're not done.
That's page 1.
That's just page 1, right? The Weather Channel, but they recently just sold it.
Ah.
I was
The
gonna
weather-
say I didn't think they owned that any longer.
Yeah, the Weather Underground. If you're familiar, if you're a weather guy and you're into this kind of stuff, the Weather Underground is like a major, major site for weather.
Huh.
The Weather Underground, Sci-Fi,
Yeah.
the Style Network, and Fandango Media, and everything that has to do with Fandango. Now, here's the interesting part, because I got to rocket through this so we can get to Jen with the sponsors and then finish up and then hopefully get out of here within 2 hours, because you guys like to talk. Here's the interesting part. Now, we had talked in previous podcasts about how the war on I-4, right? How Universal is like the arch enemy of Disney, and it's just like red and blue teams, right? Like they don't get along. But what a lot of people don't know is they are partners in companies that they own together.
Yes.
So all of this angst between Universal and Disney, it exists. I don't think it exists as much as the way it was in the 90s,
No.
but it exists. But what they don't know behind the scenes is they actually have worked together and own companies together. DreamWorks Animation is owned by both Universal and Disney. Hulu,
Yeah.
which we talked about last week,
Yeah, for another
They just-
couple years.
About 2 more years,
more
and then
years.
Comcast has the right to opt out.
United International Pictures, right? The chick,
Huh.
the chick with the
Torch thing.
torch thingy.
Yeah.
You see that meme where she's like beating up the guys with the torch? She looks like Statue of Liberty. Okay, moving on.
Yeah.
So and then
Sure
they
that
have
wasn't a dream.
Right?
Reedy. Yeah, I'm gonna butcher this, like Jen's name, but Reedy Telecine, which is Brazil TV. They own 10 networks in Brazil, and it's 50-50 Universal Disney. Lap TV, they recently just sold that to Disney.
Huh.
They had a joint, and this is something very interesting. During the time where Hollywood Studios was MGM Studios, MGM was owned by Universal and Disney. They had recently sold MGM and United Artists, with all that goes with that, to Disney, like 2 or 3 years ago.
Okay.
So that whole time that we've been going to MGM Studios,
You're going to Universal.
you're going to Universal. It was owned by Universal and Disney.
And Disney.
Yeah. Lifetime. They shared Lifetime, but then it recently got sold to Disney, and then A&E as well.
Huh.
So it's very interesting to see. But when you look at this 10-page report of all these companies, we're talking like almost 1,000 companies. Comcast is more diversified than Disney is. So when we look at these theme parks, we're looking at a very micro progression. And okay, so these theme parks, as Dave said, only made 87 instead of billions. But in the same respect, they've got so many other companies giving them financing that they could close down these parks for years and still be okay.
Guy in Europe was the biggest one that they last acquired. When I was still there at Universal, that was a big ordeal because they did that one at the same time they were trying to get Fox, and they would have had Fox had they not slipped up and announced it when Disney swooped in.
Yeah, that was cutthroat there.
That was.
So, here's a little interesting tidbit that I like to throw out as well, and we'll finish up here so we can get to Jen. But Disney and Comcast are the two largest multimedia conglomerates in the world.
I believe it.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Yep. There's no 1A and 1B.
Can't touch
Right.
this.
And right now, Comcast, obviously, I mean, there's 1,000 companies on that
Oh,
list.
yeah.
I mean, it's insane. So if you think that Universal or Disney, for that matter, are going to be closing their doors anytime soon, think again. Now, NBC Universal, I stand by my word when I say that I am convinced that NBC Universal will be sold in the next couple of years. However, we'll see.
Yeah.
I could be completely wrong about that.
Yeah.
A strong chance. So, that's pretty much it for Random Topic. I just wanted to point that out, that a lot of people are on social media. Don't even get me started. Trashing these companies, trashing these parks, saying, oh, they're going down and Disney's going to be out of business and Universal's going to be out of business.
No.
Please, stop. Just stop. Please. Hashtag it was just a question.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, seriously.
Next time, ask Indy.
Teaser! Yes! Teaser by Dave Indy, ladies and gentlemen. That was epic.
Well done, sir. Well
And
played.
speaking of epic, we're going to bring in again our fearless leader, Jennifer, to talk a little sponsors. We got some exciting news.
Yeah, we've got some new ones.
My
Very
God,
exciting
woman.
ones.
You couldn't just show up. You got to bring all these bombs that you're dropping on our podcast.
Well, of course. And why would I just wait and do it when I can't be on the show? So, well, we've got quite a few new sponsors, but first I want to talk about Mouse Bubbles. A few weeks ago, we announced our new sponsor, Universal Candle Company, which is the equivalent of Three Cheeky Chicks, but for Universal Studios. They have opened a new company called Mouse Bubbles, which is handcrafted soaps and bath products. They're starting off small, but they have a huge portfolio that they're going to be working towards. And we're going to start our next box drop with them tomorrow, and it's going to be the Spa Deluxe box. And with that, you get 2 of the shower steamers, 3 of the bath bombs, 1 bar soap, a bathrobe, slippers, and Mickey towel set. That box is going to be $99 plus shipping, and that goes on sale tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
that's how we're going to announce them to our new list of sponsors.
I'm excited about that. And the Universal Candle Company, they've got some interesting scents for their candles.
They do. They
Yes.
definitely
They have an
do.
ET one.
Oh, God, yeah. Did you see that? The ET one?
That's the closest I can get to Voban.
What does it smell like an old, rusty, like, wrinkled alien? Or, like, what does that smell like?
Old
Oh,
Reese's
they've
Pieces.
got one coming for you, Bill.
Awkward. Well, Universal Candle Company is obviously a new sponsor with UDN, so we welcome them to the family. Absolutely.
Make my Voban.
And Mouse Bubbles, that's exciting.
Dave wants his Voban. Make it happen, Jen.
No, it's not going to happen, but they are offering to do a signature set just for us that is only for like our swag bags and for the meetups and the
Awesome.
bags that we do for those.
Wow.
So,
Cool.
Very cool.
yeah, so we're getting our own little candle scent.
So what should the scent be?
I
Like,
don't know. That's what we need to think about.
Is that a contest maybe that we should have our followers give us
Yeah.
some suggestions?
Yeah, I think we might put that out there this week and see what they say.
That would be pretty cool.
Taurus Sweat. My vote is Taurus Sweat. You know,
Your
like,
vote doesn't count.
like you're waiting in line, for a ride, and like the guy that's in front of you hasn't taken a shower in like a week, and like everybody behind you can smell that one guy.
Okay, you are officially banned from
leg.
being able to comment.
That is the one. Turkey leg, right?
I brush teeth.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, you guys are disgusting.
We are running with this.
Anyway, Jen.
What else you got?
Moving on, our next new sponsor is called Cute College Fits, and she does custom Disney wine glasses and tumblers. So they're going to be offering our group members a 10% discount, and she'll get that promo code today, and we'll be putting that up tomorrow as well. So we're excited to have her on board. She is actually a college student herself, and she's been doing this business for quite some time. On top of that, we also have a new ear company. It's called Gifts Worth Melting For. They do the fabric Mickey ears instead of the wire ones that we like from the Magic Feather Shop.
Yeah, I love Magic Feather Shop's ears.
Clearly.
Yeah. So she does the handmade fabric Mickey ears, and they're really cute.
Oh, and scrunchies, too.
I'm looking forward to bringing them on board. We're still in the middle of finalizing what their offering is going to be to the group. Hopefully we'll have that up tomorrow, but we're excited to have them on board as well.
Awesome.
And then the really big announcement is we are going to be a lounge fly seller. So all of those adorable little bitty backpacks.
Yeah, she is.
I've been waiting for this announcement for quite a while now.
Now, for the hardcore people, you know that Loungeflies produces those little mini backpacks that like all these annoying chicks wear at Disney, and they're like expensive, and Tanya's got like 17 of them.
I do not. I have 2.
Keep counting.
Oh, I have 3. I have 3.
Keep counting.
No, I have 3.
You have Orange Bird.
Yeah.
You have the pass holder. You've got
Figment.
2. You got 2 figments.
No, I have 1 figment.
Oh my goodness.
God.
I have 3.
Anyway, Jen. Sorry.
So anyways, that will appear this week in the marketplace, and what we're going to do is select a few key items to sell, and we'll put those up on the marketplace and be sold directly. It won't be a website link like a lot of the other sponsors are. I'm trying to get away from that with the sponsors, and I'm renegotiating their contracts a little bit so we can sell their merchandise and help them out.
And also, you definitely want to check out the marketplace at worldofudn.com because
Yes,
it has got everything.
I was going to say,
Like
how many sponsors are we
everything.
up to?
oh, we've got quite a few.
Yeah. I mean, because we
I would-
have the Shop at Disney. You can go through us for Shop Disney. And we've got the one company for the wands.
Yes, Alfwald and James,
Yeah.
and then we've got 3 Cheeky Chicks.
Mm-hmm.
We've
It's
got-
just there's too many to list. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
it's unreal. If you go to World of UDN, go to the marketplace, you will see everything there. We got discount codes. Do we have new discount codes? Any new discount codes?
No, for the existing sponsors, no. The discount codes are still good. The new groups will have their own discount codes, and we'll publish those tomorrow when we bring them up.
Sweet.
Awesome. Yay! Exciting
Yay!
news!
Exciting
Lounge
stuff.
Fly!
Indeed. So great sponsors coming on board to support UDN.
Yes.
Which is
and then
super cool.
also the last thing I want to tell you guys is we're doing another box that's going to run simultaneously with Mouse Bubbles. It's called the Sponsor Surprise Box. There'll be more information about it later this week as we continue to work with the sponsors to get a bargaining agreement in place for those, but it will have all kinds of merchandise from all of our sponsors, and there'll be a couple of different sizes and price points.
Nice.
Let me tell you, I feel kind of robbed about the whole Expedition Roasters because the box that we got, it had a great cup.
Yeah.
It had the 2 bags of coffee. Like they delivered on everything they said they were going to deliver on. but we got that Red Hook coffee, and I wanted the black and white cookie coffee.
Yeah, I know.
I got robbed. I'm like, what is this? I don't want this.
Yeah.
Where's the black and white?
He wanted the black and white, not Hook's revenge.
Well, we've got some things in the works for coffee as well, but I can't talk about those quite yet.
Hashtag Christmas list.
Big time.
So,
Yeah.
Not Christmas tree.
and of course, one last, right? She's already got the Christmas tree up. I mean, come on, dude. So, one last thing I'd like to throw out there. Obviously, we have been talking about this group for quite a long time. Rockstars and Flowers. You've seen their paintings. You've seen their advertising on UDN. These guys are sick, man.
Yes.
They are just killing it right now. They've just done 3 murals downtown, and they just did Elvis. They just did.
Yeah, the Elvis one was pretty cool.
Yeah, Elvis was very cool, and then they did a couple other ones. Tyson, I think they did Mike Tyson. Unbelievable. So you want to go check them out as well. So, Jennifer.
Yes, dear.
Thank you so much for coming on to the podcast today.
Well, thank you for having me.
She was dropping bombs today.
Yeah,
I mean, just
lots of great information.
lots of great information. Congratulations to everybody who won the UDN grab bags. That's awesome.
Woo-hoo!
And we're getting a lot of positive. We're getting a lot of positive results from that. We're getting a lot of positive comments from that. People are really liking the fact that we're doing this, and I got to be honest with you, we love doing it, man. We love giving away free stuff, and it's our way of saying thank you for everything that you guys do for us. You support the podcast, you support UDN, you support Jennifer's Christmas trees. So, hey, listen, these trees are not cheap, Dave. They're not cheap. 6 Christmas trees for one house is not cheap.
But they're
Hey,
easy.
and you know what? I got most of them for free.
Wow. You still
So
got
they
to
are cheap, but they're not easy.
Don't look at me like you're getting another tree, because you're not getting another tree. So you just
We've got room.
I see how the cat got the evil eye, clearly.
Just
So
send Jen one of your trees.
yeah, right. So we're gonna wrap up the podcast. We want to thank you for joining us for another great show. We certainly appreciate it. Keep in mind, subscribe to our podcast. We also have put it on YouTube. We're working on trying to go live for YouTube, which should be challenging. And thank you for supporting UDN. Thank you for supporting the podcast. We are moving into some new phases with the theme parks. Hopefully the resorts will be open here soon.
Agreed.
Right. And we're doing very, very well. So we certainly appreciate that. Keep in mind, the next podcast, I have a very special guest that will be joining us. This guy is my best friend because he knows too much and I can't kill him. So, Rich
There's
Ballant,
a lot of truth to that.
my friend from Arizona, Rich Ballant's going to be joining the podcast. We're going to do an interview with him, just kind of chit chat around the tiki bar, talking about old times. We go way back. He knows too much. Seriously. I'm going to have to Epstein him if he
they've
starts
been
talking.
friends since grade school.
Yeah. So
Shankum.
one friend was 42 years and Rich is, I think, somewhere around 37. So he knows too much. So anyway, thank you very much for joining the podcast. We appreciate it. If you guys are in the parks, remember you need your reservation. Remember you need to wear your mask. Social distance, take precautions. This COVID stuff is not going away anytime soon, sadly, but we have the parks.
And if you're at the Magic Kingdom, wear your floaties in case you're on a boat.
Right? I think I'm going to start leaning.
Or Epcot.
I'm going to start weaning away from these boat rides. I'm just saying, and I'm Coast Guard, so yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that's about. But listen, if you're in the parks, have fun, be safe, and we'll talk soon.
You have been listening to the official Universal Disney Nuts podcast. Please visit our website at worldofudn.com and join us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for all the latest updates, news, and events from your favorite theme parks. See you in 2 weeks.